All right, here with secondary coach and recruiting coordinator Noah Joseph. And Coach Joseph, just tell us a little bit about how recruiting's going so far.
So far, so good. You know, we have a couple commitments. We don't have a lot of scholarships available, but we have a couple commitments already, and those guys will be on campus to kind of help us recruit the rest of our class and hopefully finish things off strong here.
Sure. Sure, and we know you're kind of facing some APR issues this year, maybe a limited number of scholarships. I was talking to Coach Ash a few weeks ago. Do you know exactly where you stand on those issues right now? He was unsure at that time.
Yeah, we do. We're still trying to go through an appeal process. I think Cammie Bechtold and Coach Ash feel pretty confident that we will get a couple scholarships back, but we won't know till after signing date the exact penalty on that.
Right, and just how many scholarships do you have available right now?
Well, we had 14. We have 14 we can sign.
Mm-hmm.
We'll probably oversign by one. Is what we're hoping to do.
Sure. And obviously priority in this offseason was interior defensive linemen, wide receivers. Does that kind of remain the same?
It does. It does. And I think when you talk about the wide receivers, it's kind of wide receiver slash athlete. Just we feel like we're trying to find a couple more playmakers that we can get the ball to, whether it's on offense, whether it's on the return game, to help us make plays and be explosive.
Sure. And obviously got some pretty busy weekends on campus coming up here with this weekend, next weekend, and the last weekend of the month being kind of campus visits. Just talk us through a little bit about what the life of a recruiting coordinator is like in the meantime between those.
I tell you what, it's been hectic, and I appreciate all the staff, Ariane, and all the coaches working and all they do, and my wife, because I get short-tempered at times just because things are constantly changing. You know, we're dealing with 18, 17, 18-year-old kids right now, and their plans change. Unfortunately for us in our recruiting areas, there was a lot of movement from bigger staffs, Division I staffs, and they've kind of come in on some kids late here, and it's caused us to change our thought process and go a different direction. So it's just hectic at times. I feel like I'm a travel agent, and then the other times just making sure you're organized and everything runs smooth.
Sure.
And what is this hype? This is all propaganda.
That's the ace recruiter right there, Justin Gaines.
There you go. And obviously Justin Gaines was a guy we talked about last year, bringing some kids in from Texas. Texas looks like another big state for you guys this year.
It does, you know, and it's interesting because with the limited number, you know, we have 14 of 15. We already have 4 guys from the state of Montana committed, so really you're looking at 10 scholarships. That it was pretty competitive out there, you know, guys on the road, finding guys, and then now you get them on the board, and there's a lot of things that go into it. Not only, hey, who's the best player, but academically, who's a good fit, who is from a good program, who's used to winning, those sorts of things. But in the end, there are quite a few Texas kids still that have kind of raised to the top here.
Sure, and it looks like Arizona might also be a big area for you guys with Coach Beasley hitting that up down there. Has that also been kind of a promising state for you this season?
It has. You know, I think a couple things go into it. One, when you look at Coach Beasley down there, obviously he was a big-time recruit coming out of the state. His name still holds a lot of weight down there. You know, you have relations from, and recruiting's all about relationships. Well, you know, his old high school, they have a kid we're going to visit out of there, and then you go even further than that, and a guy that coached him is now at this high school, and they know each other, and that's that's the name of the game, and the way you get good players is just with the relationships, and obviously Coach Beasley has that down there in Arizona.
Sure, absolutely. And you mentioned some of the Montana kids. You said you have 4 Montana commits already. Is that the case?
We do. You know, I think Coach Ash made it a priority that based on our summer camp. So we did a great job as a staff with Coach Plessel and Coach McIndoe. You know, Coach Max knows the state inside and out, and put an emphasis as juniors, kind of identifying our top kids, and then a next top group, and felt like we did a great job of that. Had a lot of those guys in camps, and that's the whole key, is to get guys in camp. You can work them out, evaluate them, know, hey, this guy will fit in, this guy might project this position, and we were able to get a number of offers out early. Some guys we got, some guys we didn't. There's still some guys out there that we really like, and that we will get offers out to here in the state of Montana.
Right. And when can we start hearing about some of these kids, verbally committing, making some decisions?
Yeah, I think after this weekend, you know, again, there'll be kids on campus, some already committed. They'll contact the papers, or their high school coaches will contact the papers, both Montana and the other states, once they commit, and then it can become public knowledge. Obviously, as a coaching staff, we're not allowed to talk about it until actually signing date when we have their NLI.
Right.